Yes, I am John Brownbill. I was a lieutenant in the infantry, the 3rd Battalion Royal Australian Regiment during the Korean War from January 1953 till January 1954. For the most part, I, with others, was patrolling at night.
When did you first join the military?
2 years before the Korean War, because I believed that the Koreans had been innocently attacked by the North, and I wanted to see justice done. We trained in Japan for a while and then went across to Korea. Well, we practiced night patrolling and moving in country like the Korean country in Japan, and we were prepared in that way. And I went in to replace an officer who had had his 12 months and come back to Australia. So I was with troops who had been there and had the experience. Hill 355.
Was it in Busan or?
No, it was up the 38th parallel.
So it was Hill 355?
Yeah, near the Imjin. Yes, we were alert at all times and very active on night patrol, seeking the enemy. And when we moved into Hill 355, we had to go out looking for them. Prior to us being there, they used to come right up to the people who had the hill before us. But when we raised the flag of Australia, they stayed away at night. We had to look for them. I was quite upset to see the state of the country. Everywhere I went was signs of battle having taken place. Buildings were smashed from both sides. There were no trees, which I understand the Japanese had taken during their occupation. And it was just a terrible, badly smashed country. And the wonderful thing is that in my 5 trips back, every time I saw amazing improvements. And probably the biggest surprise was in my last trip, where it had been the case that the government had asked people to plant trees, and where you could see for a mile or two, you could now see for about 50 yards. There were trees everywhere, and it was absolutely beautiful. And looking from the air, you'd never know there'd been a war. The whole country and Seoul was absolutely beautiful as a town, a city. Well, I was very heavily influenced by the fact that I'd grown up through the Second World War, and a lot of my family's friends and older people had been to that war, and I was just a bit young for it. But most of the fellows of my age have been very influenced by that. And when the Korean War started, I wanted to show that I was capable of doing what they had been doing. I think the young people today don't like the idea of war. They don't want war. And they don't have the same influence as I had. I think they would find it very hard and very unacceptable to be asked to go to war. I just love Korea. I love the Korean people. And every time I've been there, I've been treated very, very well. And I'd love to go back again, but physically it's impossible. I'm 95 now and a little beyond travelling. My experiences there have all been wonderful. And I met some very senior generals who'd been in the Korean War. And I have a set of cups and saucers with his name on them. I was given by a general. And I've had all sorts of lovely experiences there. Well, it's very nice to be back with the friends I had during the war, and also to meet again with people such as yourself who are Korean, and I love talking with them. Well, there's no specific time, but we have a meeting once a month, but we have a lot of other dinners and that sort of thing. And the Consul General takes us to dinner a couple of times a year, at Christmas and at the anniversary of the end of the war. Oh, well, we don't talk about the war very much.
Yes.
We talk about being home and talk about the Korean. And we talk to each other, particularly those of us who've been back there, about what we've seen and how wonderful the place is. Korea is frequently in my mind. I can only say I love Korea and the Korean people.